from Pahrump, which is the Valley of the Dirt People, which evidently is just one flush west of Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, where we talked about interesting subjects such as how to decide between two Roost or Endo bikes that we can't decide between. We almost had them send naked pictures, but you're not going to get to listen to this on the podcast or see that on the podcast. It wouldn't be possible without our friendly sponsors, Yamaha, Taco Moto, Scott Sports, Climb, DDC, Trail Tech, Fasst Company, Seat Concepts, Bulletproof Designs. You can always support this show by clicking through our Amazon and Rocky Mountain ATV MC links. And of course, don't forget to check out our riding schools on jimmylewisoffroad.com. And now, here's the show. Welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. It's Tuesday, I don't know, the 25th of October.
Yeah.
Right? This is the 161st show of the show where we talk about motorcycle and motorcycle-related products, but in reality, we're just a shill for our corporate overlords. And with that, I would like to thank all of our sponsors that we have. Of course, we couldn't do this. Actually, I wouldn't do this without sponsors. Because you're getting more than what is this show worth? What you pay for it?
Yeah.
So somebody's paying for it, not me. I'm not getting paid very much for it, but if Matt doesn't go out and get some new sponsors, we could be running to, and we might have 162 shows where I announce retirement. Thanks a lot to Bulletproof Designs. Seat Concepts. I was pretty happy with my Seat Concepts Yamaha Tenere T7 seat. Actually, incredibly happy with it for the number one reason. It's just more comfortable. Number two, the whole seat comes off with a key. I don't have to stick a 5mm or 4mm Allen down my seat to make it come off if I wanted to do something like jump the battery or whatever. Single seat, nice and flat, raises the seat height. Great. Fasst Company. I talked to Cole today because I have a special need.
Yeah.
Longer foot pegs for the Tenere. He sent me some of the shorter ones, which are the same as the Yamaha dirt bikes. I don't think he understands the need for these longer foot pegs, and it will come. So he's fabbing some up probably as we speak. Trail Tech. I ordered up some kickstand bolts for various reasons today. Trail Tech helping us out. They're the makers of the Voyager Pro. DDC, our first sponsor. See the DDC sprocket somewhere behind me? I'm probably blocking it. No, it's over there. Great chain wheels. Climb, of course, I'm wearing Climb gear all the time. Scott Sports, the amplified goggle lens. Check it out if you haven't. You're missing out. There's a reason why they cost more, because they're good. Taco Moto, sponsor of our Roost or Endo segment. And if you're not familiar with Roost or Endo, this is where we have you send us a picture of your motorcycle and tell us a little bit about it. The mods, I really like to know your make and model. Just helps because then there's some background on what it is. Although I was looking at an old issue of Dirt Bike Magazine, and then I saw some social media posts a couple weeks ago where someone, I think the dirt bike story was the world's ugliest dirt bike or the world's worst dirt bike or something. And the bike that won was called X the Unknown because nobody knew what it was. And I saw another one of these bikes pop up someplace, which I thought was pretty cool. So it doesn't have to be the latest, but if you don't know what your bike is, there's a lot of people that own some of these Chinese bikes and they have no idea what they really call the Zing Zang or whatever it is. So you can send that in. Sponsored by Taco Moto. That's tacomoto.co. Especially if you have a KTM dual sport bike, they are your source for lots of things. And then there's Yamaha. So since we are a shill for Yamaha, who wants you to go to YamahaMotorsports.com to find out about the 2023 YZs. And since Dirt Bike Test has been telling you a lot about the 2023 YZ450, very shortly we'll have Trevor Hunter, who's not drunk, allegedly. And that's the reason he didn't call in last time, because somebody got him a little drunk. and he was afraid to answer the phone because I would have gotten all the information out of him for sure at that point. So he is going to answer all the questions that you have. So if you have questions about the 2023 YZ450, and I'm going to coach him up on how to answer those questions.
Yeah. Give him the rundown.
The rundown and the proper way to do it. But again, my name is Jimmy Lewis. We have Matt over there. He sounds like he's completely sick, which I'm pretty sure he is. And he's probably going to try to get me sick, but I don't get sick. So, but I did wipe the thing down with some toxic waste removal.
Well, there's a reason why I'm off camera today. And there's a reason why I came a little later.
That's why I have this that kills 99% of the germs that could get me sick. So shout out to some Simple Green Clean Finish. I'm also going to use my other favorite elixir, some tequila, which that's the real thing. So anyways, Jamie says Trevor is the man. Hey, Jamie, if you have questions for Trevor, make sure you can call in. They'll be able to call in on the Seat Concepts Hot Seat Hotline. That number is 775-318-5515. We'll put that up in the chat. I see Mitch is in Arkansas. Arkansas means it's 10 o'clock at night back there?
Yeah.
It's late. That's late. So Mark Daniels is back there. He's got the extra tea in his Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, and so will I in a few minutes. But I actually had pizza tonight. Pizza, no tacos.
Leftover pizza from...
leftover pizza from the school. So we had a school this weekend. I got to do some riding for the school. I haven't been doing as much riding as I usually do. Been a little bit off, but I might actually ride back to California tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. So again, if you have Dos Artes, that's what I've got. It's good. It's okay. Yeah, it is actually okay. So Jamie says Trevor has helped him out in the past with his Suzuki. Well, what, putting graphics on it or like how to do burnouts? Which one? Trevor probably help you out with either of those things. So anyways, Bulletproof Designs has guards available for most 2023 models. The 2022 KTM group products swap over to the new models, and they have pegs for the 23s that will become available soon. So if you want to check out bulletproofdesigns.com, and they can hook you up there. So as usual, we will answer any questions. I don't see anybody coming through. I think I got banned on Instagram or something like that.
Banned, or are you just having some connection issues?
Could be connection issues. We're not getting any. Usually there's a lot of chatter over there, and it's 0 right now. So maybe everybody's out doing something more fun than watching this horrible show. I couldn't see why you would want to waste your time doing that. So we have questions tonight, Matt?
Yeah, we have a lot of questions. A lot of YZ450 questions, too, that I included since Trevor was coming on.
Okay. And they were from the videos that we put up.
Yeah, well, some of them are questions and some of them are kind of dumb comments that...
Oh, that you wanted me to respond to?
No, I wanted Trevor to respond to.
Oh, okay, good. I think he needs to. I see something else up there. We have some non-YZ450 questions.
Yeah, we have a lot of non-YZs.
Let's hit those really quick.
Okay. Let's go from Lee Graham. This one was emailed to me. Hi, Jimmy. I'm a 55-year-old beginner dirt bike rider, 6 feet tall, 215 pounds. I took your class this spring, and it was absolutely a must for anyone wanting to learn. Absolutely amazing. I will be back if you will have me.
Did you add all that stuff just to make it sound better than it really is?
No, if I would have added it, I would have added Matt's beginner class. Okay. I have a couple questions for you. One, I bought a 2023 Gas EC250, and it is way beyond my skill level. Any thoughts on how I can tame it down? Second, the Sierra F300L is extremely soft in my opinion. If I kept the factory shock and went up a couple spring sizes in the rear, would that make much of a difference? Thank you in advance, Lee.
Okay, so the 2023 Gas EC250 is most definitely above your skill level and probably about 95% of the riders in the world. And I'm not kidding when I say that. The bikes today, the competition bikes, all of them, all the brands, even the Suzuki, by the way, which, people complain about the Suzuki being maybe a couple of years old and stuff. I still think the potential in those motorcycles is way above the skill level of most riders. So the stuff you can buy today is incredibly potent. So don't feel out of place. How can you tame it down? The easiest way to tame down that bike in particular is to use the adjustability of the power valve. And I know KTM is kind of shying away from wanting riders to do that, but it's pretty easy to either add spring preload or take spring preload away. I just got a notification. Is poor connection.
Okay.
Yeah, my phone's been jacked up all day. So I'm going to clip everybody on the live stream here.
On Instagram.
On Instagram. Don't want to break anything else out. Yeah. So, and now, yeah. So the I don't want to discard this video. Okay, discard. The power valve, see, sometimes when you keep it down, it causes the bike to, let's say, be more smooth. And even when you let it open up too early, it makes the bike really smooth, but then it'll be smooth and then really kind of have a hit. And the problem with keeping it down is that it can, if you're riding it kind of hard and it's down, it can build a little bit extra heat because it's like lowering the exhaust port, raising the compression, does a couple other things. But that's the easiest thing to do. But play with it. Make a mark where it's at, and this works on all KTMs and all Huskies. They have that same 2-stroke motor. Make a mark where it's at, and then basically unscrew it. And I usually do it in half turns: half, 1, half, 2, half, and it usually goes 3 or 4 turns. It'll come out, and it'll stop on the way out. So when you unscrew it, it stops. But when you screw it in, you can actually screw it all the way in too far. So I never do that. So let's say it's 4 turns out or something. So bring it back to normal and then open it up like 2 turns and then try that and then take it and then close it 4 turns. So you're going 2 turns in and try it riding it one way, try it riding and see how you like it and see if that makes a big difference. But straight away, just for something that's simple and free and easy to do, you might need to get the tool. The little Endo Engineering makes a really nice tool that will make that adjusting that easy. But you can also kind of wedge it's like a 5mm or 6mm Allen in there if you have to. Or a lot of times I can take a flat bladed screwdriver and put it in that square hole a little bit crooked. I know that what other bikes have these? I think Betas have the adjustable power valve as well. So this is kind of a common thing, but it's really easy to do. It just kind of changes the way. You might have to change the jetting if you find a spot that you like. A lot of times it can be jetted different to run more optimum, but that's what I would try if you were trying to get that bike to be tamed down. Also, for some people, doing things like loosening up the compression quite a bit on the shock and the forks makes it feel a little more connected to the ground, a little more dead feeling, and so it doesn't feel as agile and dancy. Lowering the bike will kind of slow the handling down. A couple other things if it's kind of a chassis thing that's getting at you. So try that. Onto the CRF 300L. It is extremely soft, and yes, going to a stiffer. Anytime that you have the wrong spring rate, the bike will work improperly. But when you start going up maybe 2 spring rates on the rear shock, you need to do something with the rebound damping because all of a sudden it'll spring back and be a little bit aggressive. So you got to kind of realize what it's for and then figure it all out. But and generally for every 2 rates you go up in the rear, you're going to want to go up at least 1 on the front to keep the bike balanced. So you got to ask yourself, am I chasing a problem here that's going to just cost more and more money and never really lead to something? I would, if you get to the point where you kind of understand where you're at as a rider and having come to the class, I think you will, and you do. I think you're at a point where, especially when you're bigger at that size, the gas is going to be a much better package that you can tame down and then grow into. And I really don't like to tell people to grow into bikes, but at your size, you're going to be fine. You've already grown into that bike. You just need to tune it to work with you. So that's my question. Let's go right to the ones in the chat, Matt, because I want to those people that come in the chat, I want to hit them pretty quick.
Do you want to bring on our guest for the night?
Yeah, bring him on. He can try to answer questions too.
All right.
The helpful Suzuki man.
The helpful Suzuki guy.
It's in the chat, Matt, because I want to. Good thing he's got an echo going.
He does have an echo going
because he's watching the show live right now. He's probably not even in front of his thing, but he'll show up there. Sleeping, Trevor, or hungover? How's that new sport going called drinking?
I don't know. Results say it's pretty good, but we'll see.
The results say it's good. So maybe you should have been a checker, not a prairie dog.
Apparently.
Yeah. So Trevor Hunter, welcome to the show. Trevor is at least 1/3, if not half, of Dirt Bike Test. He is going to answer your 23 YZ questions, but I'll go ahead and take Curtis's question. What's that?
The 23 Husky 501, looking for a headlamp upgrade, mostly to ride street right now. So what would you recommend? Night street riding and a little off-road riding. Looking at a Ruby or Baja Designs, but don't know if it's overkill.
Too much light is never overkill if you're going to be riding at night. And Trevor knows this. He does a lot of night racing, a lot of endurance racing. I'm a fan of the Baja Design stuff, always have been. They take it pretty serious. I met the guys that do Ruby, and they seem like they're into it too. They had some pretty cool products, and I know with a lot of the supply issues, they were able to kind of keep some supply and got some attention there. So I think it all comes down to your budget. And all honestly, Curtis, in the light game, you kind of are getting what you're paying for, is what I've noticed before. You can spend a lot of money and get really good lights, and especially compared to maybe just 5 or 6 years ago, it's amazing where things have gone with the LED. Wouldn't you agree, Trevor?
Yeah, new lights are pretty dang good. I don't know if you've seen it, Jimmy. I don't really know anyone that's ridden it, but I think it's Rigid Industries. They just came out with a light like a year ago that it adjusts like the pattern and the throw and everything based on your speed and RPMs and stuff like that. I don't really know much about it, but it's a cool concept at least.
Yeah, so it's borrowing from some of the stuff like the turning lights on cars. So cars would sense the turning input in the steering wheel and be able to aim the headlights. And I know that they were doing stuff with this on the off-road cars and trucks as well. So I don't know how they've applied that. I don't know exactly how it works, like if it's servo motors moving it, but it would be something that's interesting. But that can't be cheap.
No, I think it's pretty expensive.
Yeah,
but it's cool.
But with the way they're able to project the LEDs, and the one thing that the LEDs don't have that the old halogens were probably the best, and then we kind of figured out with HID as well, was how to really throw the light a long ways down. The LEDs don't seem to. I don't know if it's that the what's producing the amount of light. It's actually a bigger. It's a chip almost is what it looks like. But I think it's a little bit bigger, and it's not like a ball. It's more like a plate, and I don't know if it's easy to throw that light as far. But there's good stuff, and like I said, I think you can kind of look at the price, and you're gonna get what you pay for. It's amazing what you can get for $200. Especially compared to what stock. It's the stuff that's. I mean, I just had a Moto Minded kit with a helmet light with a small Baja Designs light on it, and it's crazy how much better that is than a stock headlight. And this is just a battery powered thing, or you can actually plug it into the bike, and it makes pretty good shape, and it's shaped so that it has spread, and it throws it about as far as you would expect. Like you're not gonna on this, and this, like I said, this is a tiny thing. It's probably got like a 2-inch. I'm thinking it's about a 2-inch lens on the front of it, and it throws out far enough to go about 45 so miles an hour, really safe. And then, as you start getting the bigger and bigger reflectors, bigger lenses, they tend to throw farther and have better control of the spread. So that's the, they have, and everybody has kind of a different little, and that's what makes them different, because they can all buy the same LED pieces. It's how they throw it and how they control it. So Jamie says he has a lot of works and it's a great system. Is that a lot of work? But not as bright as the Baja designs. So, okay. And then Blake says the Rigid's a good light. So there we go.
There.
And then, yeah, for sure, if it's a floodlight, they don't have any distance, and then pencils tend. I don't like, if you don't pair a pencil beam with a flood, the beam getting thrown out really far is really distracting, and it works horrible in the dust. It's really super distracting in the dust. So hopefully it answers your light question. Okay, want to get to the YZ450.
Yeah, we'll get to those and we'll start busting them out. Okay, so first one up was from Joe150. This is a comment on the impression video. I'm in the market for a 450 and I want a Yamaha. The thing is, I'm not paying markup or believing we are only getting one better. Hurry, blah, blah, blah. I'm a local vet A rider. I can go just as fast on an old Suzuki, and there are plenty of gases around, so Yamaha don't play the same dumb games you played with the R7. I don't know what he's upset about here.
I'd like to thank Yamaha Motorcycles. They have the YZ 4-stroke motorcycle motocross line, brand new for 2023, especially the YZ 450. Let's see. Everything's new. That's it. I don't have a read for this. I'm just making it up, Trevor. Visit YamahaMotorsports.com today to find your Yamaha YZ and enter the victory zone. I don't know about the price zone on these things yet. Do you know what the price is supposed to be, Trevor?
The standard bike is like $97.99.
Wow.
And Monster Edition is $99.99.
So still under 10 grand.
Yeah. They wanted to keep the Monster Edition under 10, and then the standard one's a little cheaper than that.
Yeah. Cool. So it's a free market system, buddy. What's his name?
Joe150.
Joe150. Since I watched a couple of Trevor's videos, you didn't really make any comments on the price or the gouging techniques of dealers, right? You didn't talk about this? Good. So we can talk about it on the show. The price is the price. If you want something, you have to pay a certain price for it. And if the price goes too high, then you don't pay for it. It's really simple. It's not that confusing. And sometimes, if you think Yamaha is the only one doing it, about the only one that doesn't do this is Suzuki right now.
Right.
They, especially when something's new and brand new, they don't bring a million of them. A lot of times there's a second run. And then there's even for people that are really thrifty and conscious, like Honda is actually reintroducing their last year's bike at a lower price a year later. So there's a lot of different techniques at this. And let's see, can you do as good as on a Suzuki, Trevor?
Where am I racing? There's a good chance.
Yeah, how about a rough track?
Probably not.
Yeah. So
might take some work to go that fast.
Hey, the last time I rode one of the Suzukis, it was like at Paris Raceway. If you're there for the first hour, the bike was magical. So good. It was as good as all the other bikes, maybe even better sometimes, because just the characteristics of the bike. And same thing on some of the vet tracks that don't get rough. Yeah. They're really good bikes. So maybe he's a vet A rider. Maybe he's a vet A rider on the vet tracks.
Well, yeah, he actually mentions he can go just as fast as on an old Suzuki.
Well, then he's probably riding the vet A tracks, and I don't disagree with them at all. But I don't want him to get gouged either.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish we had a Yamaha dealer sponsorship, from a specific dealer. We could say go there, because we would say no matter what, we would say they wouldn't gouge you.
Right.
Even though we wouldn't know any different. We're just a shill for the corporate overlords. Trevor, did you get me any new sponsors this week?
Working on it.
Yeah. What's Scott doing? Is he working on some sponsors there?
I think he might be busy texting Stevie Zakarski. That's something new we found out over that trip.
Right.
There's a relationship that none of us knew about.
Right. Now he doesn't have a public Grindr account like me.
We don't know.
Oh,
By the way, him and Stevie were talking. You never know.
yeah. Okay. Next question, Matt.
All right. So from Granby Homesteading, what was Yamaha thinking with that front fender? The sharp body work was cool.
Do I have these questions on my thing?
I just went ahead to the YouTube comments and just started pulling them from there.
Oh, okay. I'm missing out. I didn't, because I really prepped for this show.
Yeah.
By opening a beer and then sitting down and trying to read these live.
Yeah. I will say in some of the pictures, the front fender does look a little short. Is it actually shorter in real life, or is it just some of the photos?
The whole front end looks like it's kind of like smaller and different, but I think it's kind of grown on me a little bit. And once you're riding, you don't really notice it at all.
Yeah,
it definitely doesn't at first glance. It looks kind of funky and almost like a toy dirt bike, but it's kind of grown on me since then. And seeing it in person too is better than photos, I would say.
Well, and you said the key word. You said the key phrase there is you don't really notice it when you're riding. So
no.
Now, didn't some media kind of jump on that right in the beginning when it came out?
I think so.
I kind of remember someplace that it seemed like, some media just said that's horrible, and then so now we're on the after effect where the regular people are picking up on it.
Yeah,
I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it one bit at all. But when after somebody said, I took a second look at it. But do you remember the Husky fenders that used to just have that weird shape and they pointed almost straight down?
Yeah.
And if you got on the brakes really hard, it would rub on the front wheel. And especially if you're doing off-road stuff where you're going and you got wind.
So that was the first couple of years of those Huskies, the KTM Huskies, right?
Yeah, they look, and nobody complained about that.
No.
So maybe there's, I hate to say it, but am I correct in that the Yamaha went a little bit more in the KTM direction on a lot of things?
This new bike?
Yes.
Yeah. Correct.
It's fun. It's funny that, and the KTM hasn't been the one that everybody's been liking lately.
No.
There's characteristics and traits that it has: light feeling, thin and narrow.
Yeah.
It's more sleek design, I guess, would be some of the things. But yeah. It's they there's always stuff like that. Okay, next question, Matt.
Okay. Let's see. So, B for you is commenting that that is still too heavy. Which, after reading Trevor's article, that thing doesn't look like it's going to be too heavy. It doesn't even seem like it'd be.
Did we? Well, Yamaha has always been, especially if you're talking to Butler or Preston or something like that, they will tell you the real weight. Yeah,
they said wet weight, full of fuel. I think it's 240 pounds.
Oh, they told you full of fuel.
Yeah. So I think it's 2 pounds lighter than the KTM, or heavier than the KTM, and then it's the lightest Japanese bike, or right there with the lightest Japanese bike.
They used to get on me so hard for telling you what the bike weighed full of fuel. So how big is the gas tank? 1.8?
No, 1.2.
Wait, no, it's got to be only 1.2 gallons.
It's not. Yeah.
Check the specs. Somebody get on the spec sheet.
Yeah. I'll find it.
Because usually they're right. Usually they hover right around 2 gallons.
Maybe it's 1.6.
Okay, so they've cut the weight down. Did you do a 45-minute moto, Trevor?
I didn't
know.
I was.
What are you doing at these intros? Just eating the food?
Eating food, taking photos,
hanging out with all the other journalists? Yeah, drinking?
No, actually, Yamaha. They were telling everyone who had the most engine hours, and then the new app or the updated app reads how much fuel you burned.
Wow!
For whatever reason, I never got that info. Everyone else did except for us. So I don't know. Maybe that means we were the most. I don't know, but yeah, it's quite interesting. I thought
you need to request that information. Actually, so how is the new app? Good?
Very good, much simpler and more. It's better for the masses, I feel like, because even for me, the old one is kind of to do like mapping changes and stuff. Like at least to create your own map was a little like daunting, and there's a lot going on and a lot to pay attention to, where you could just kind of lose yourself or just get frustrated and just give up on it. But they now offer, you can use it like the old app with all those numbers and stuff, or you can adjust the maps with like just slide bars. You go like aggressive 5 or aggressive 1, traction control off, low, high, launch control on, off, or on, low, high. So they made it much simpler if you like it, or they left it the same where you can adjust it to how it was before.
Well, so that's good. So if you really want to geek out and get specific, if you do the slide bar thing, which I think is brilliant, and it just, like I said, for most people, the other app they didn't understand exactly what it did. Although it's really simple. I've been able to break it down in a matter of just a couple sentences, how to tune those things. But when you slide the slide bar, can you also see the resulting number map in the background?
I believe so.
That's a learning tool that would be huge to see, and then you can see how they're doing something. So if you were to actually slide the bar and then you see how it changes the map, like the numbers it puts in there, and you could kind of see, and then you say, hey, I liked this in this RPM range. You can see what they did in that RPM range, and I want to apply it to another range. So that's pretty cool. What bike are we talking about? We are talking about the 2023 Yamaha YZ450F. If you joined late or you fell asleep during the first part of the show, which I wouldn't blame you for, but then you woke up because it sounded like it got interesting. On the line, we have Trevor Hunter. He's at least 36% of dirtbiketest.com at a minimum. And he's here to answer your question. So Edgar, Yamaha always kind of gives you some preset maps. They would have a like usually an aggressive map, and then they would have what would they call it, mellow, or they don't need, I like the word mellow.
Smooth and linear.
Smooth and linear.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would always have those available on their app. And then kind of through the media, they would also release a couple different maps that some of their development riders had. So you always heard of the TP maps. It's Travis Preston maps and stuff. And then of course we've always, and on our side, we've had the dirt bike test maps, which are just Jimmy maps, and they really suck. So I name them something else and I send them out to people, and then they like them. So we have any Trevor Hunter maps yet?
Jimmy maps are race winning maps, so can't suck that bad.
No. Yeah. It doesn't matter the map. It's how a guy twisting the throttle. Worldly Rider has a question for us. Trevor, he wants to know, do dirt bike riders have lower testicles on average? He should have been here for last week's show.
He should have.
Yeah. Could have got into that.
Yeah.
I'd say Jimmy probably got more. Jimmy has more experience with this. So I'll let him answer that.
Yeah. Well, his grinder account has seen many, so he can.
Yes.
He can tell.
As I'm getting older, I tell you what, it's a nice day when you feel the testicle bang on the side of your knee. Yeah. It's usually warm outside too. So you ever desert raced in like 120 degrees?
No.
Yeah. That's what happens when you're old. Okay. Next question.
Okay. Real question, finally. So this is from Matthias, the Real MX 357. What has more frame absorption and comfort when the track goes square edge, the Cowie KX450 or the 23 YZ450? He's been a Yamaha guy since 2014. New bike every year.
I can't speak on that just yet, just because the track we rode really wasn't that rough. But if I was to take a guess right now, I would say I'd probably lean towards the Cowie. But I don't think I would be that far off.
So is that suspension or is that chassis?
Right, chassis.
Chassis a little bit, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
How is the new YZ compared to the old YZ on the kind of that bump. I know, like I said, it looked like that track had really good bass, like kind of soft dirt bass. So it's not getting those curbs like Glen Helen gets.
No,
which reveals this kind of stuff. So, and that's like a lot of times why we test in places that we're familiar with, because you can kind of go back and forth on this, and it's always fun to go ride a track at a different location and get these different things. Also to see how it works at other places.
Yeah,
but we always kind of test at different places. But that that chassis rigidity and stuff is pretty huge. I mean, it's kind of like the backbone of the way the bike works.
Yeah, no, I agree. But even the track there, by the end of the day, it did get pretty hard pack in a lot of spots. But like I said, it wasn't like screw edge bumps and stuff like that. There's a couple like pre-built braking bumps they did with the tractors and stuff. So you got kind of a feel for the suspension and everything, but it was nothing major. I would say, honestly, for a lot of people, it was probably just as rough as what they would normally ride. Like a guy that's leaving the track by 11 or 12, that's as rough as it's going to get, and it handled pretty good. But it definitely wasn't 4 o'clock on a Thursday at Glen Helen either. So it's kind of, yeah.
So you'd say that the newer Yamaha chassis is a little bit more compliant than the older one?
Less
compliant. So stiffer.
Probably stiffer, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That'll be real interesting. Cause I mean, that was one of the things that I think, well, I don't know. I don't really remember it ever being the best feeling chassis. It was sort of middle of the road there. I mean, the suspension's always been really good. The motor's always been amazing, especially since you can tune it.
Yeah.
And if you asked me, like it didn't matter what they did with the motor. With the app, you could kind of get it to do whatever you wanted. And then the bike just got that much better because of this.
Yeah.
And especially on a 450. So,
yeah.
Javier Gonzalez asks, so you like the Kawi because the motor chassis work compared to YZ? So, Javier, I know English is a second language. You like the Kawi because the motor and chassis work compared to YZ. So he's saying that the motor and chassis on the Kawi are kind of more tuned together?
I wouldn't say that necessarily. I mean, the Kawi is a bike. That's probably between that and at least the old Yamaha. Those are like my two favorite 450s. I wouldn't necessarily say it's motor and chassis kind of work together better than the Yamaha.
Yeah, I think they're kind of the same. I always, like I said, it's like I said before, the fact that you can tune that Yamaha motor so easily, so quickly, you can make them work together. Where on the Kawi, you have a couple plugs, and the Kawi, you can buy that tuner. And a couple of years ago, I took the time to make a couple of maps on it, and I got that thing working so good. It was really, it made the bike a whole different bike for me, because then I was kind of struggling with some stuff on it. And by playing with the motor, and on 450s, the motors are so overpowering that it makes a big difference. So, hey, this segment is brought to you by JimmyLewisOffroad.com. That's my riding schools. And Gregory just happened to ask right now in the chat, when's your next riding school? It's November. I think it's 3rd and 4th or 4th and 5th, whatever days, maybe 5th and 6th. I don't know. It's that weekend in November. That's our next one. And then also the first week of December, we have another class, and we have a few spots left in both of those. So don't hesitate. I think we just actually, just before I came on the show, somebody registered for one, so we might be getting close, but I don't keep track of that just yet. So Javier says the balance the engine, the balance the chassis engine. Javier, slow down and type slowly. You're like the kids around here. They're just like fingers are spinning. Trevor can't answer that question. Next question, Matt.
I was gonna say I actually have a question myself from his article, because I prepped and I read it. So Trevor, you mentioned the RPM, the 500 RPM rev limit increase, and you mentioned how that makes second gear really rideable for a lot of the track you were on. So does that translate to all the other? So that's also translate to like third, fourth, and fifth, that higher revving feeling, as well as the ability to lug it more.
Yeah, I'd agree. Before, like on the old bike, I would never really go below third gear. Maybe if it's like a super tight corner, I'd go into second. But I would just ride the track in third and fourth gear. But this one, you could legitimately ride the entire track in second gear and go just as fast. Probably go just as fast. Just because like second gear pulled is so much more usable now. I think with the rework transmission and everything, and just that extra RPM increase, and then how they kind of move the power, so it's not so abrupt. I always felt like at least with stock mapping, all zeros, it was like kind of abrupt and hard hitting right off the bottom. It made a lot of good power down low, but once you like got in the mid range and then into the top end, it kind of just signed off pretty quick. Whereas this now is like a lot more broad and linear, and it's smoother off the bottom, but still has like really good pulling power, and then goes all the way through the top end and into the over rev. It's almost, the top end is almost like, or is basically like a 350 top end. Like it revs seemingly forever.
Wow.
On a 450, I've never really experienced that. The KTM.
I mean, when do you ever get like a 450, up to that, that extra 500, I understand, but like, when are you really up there using it? That's the question. Like I've seen them when they put extra RPMs on them, and it's still tapering, like you've already gone past peak and it's actually falling off. And so you never use it. Yeah. But so it's actually pulling up through those extra 500 RPMs.
I mean, it pulls pretty far. Yeah.
Yeah. And that has been a kind of a shortcoming on YZs, is they tend to be a little more low and mid-range focused. So.
Yeah. Which to me on a 450 isn't bad. Like I don't really rev 450s. I don't like to rev bikes in general, but especially not 450s. But this bike you could rev, and it keeps pulling. But it didn't handle. I mean, it wasn't super rough. It didn't handle bad as you revved it. Whereas I feel like the old bike, once you started revving it too much, the handling started kind of going away too.
Yes, that I agree with that also.
Yeah. So this the motor and the chassis, I guess, kind of worked better together in that sense. Obviously, you need to ride a different, rougher terrain and something we're used to. But yeah, it was pretty impressive. That motor is really, really good. Almost too fast. But
yeah, Worldly Rider popped up in the chat with another question here. He says, is it true that the Suzuki is coming out with rainbow graphics on the RMZ to attract more riders like me? I didn't hear about that. But Worldly Rider, it could be that they're trying to attract you with the rainbow graphics. So you can check out Worldly Rider on YouTube. Actually, we need to go see what kind of videos he's putting up. That always interests me.
I still have more questions about the YZ, actually.
Okay.
Because I'm just kind of picking from, I actually just pulled up Trevor's article because
Oh, now you're starting to read it. That's why you're not ready with the next question that a viewer asked.
You don't want me to ask that question?
Yes.
I thought we were still asking the
YZ questions.
YZ questions.
Yeah, YZ questions from a viewer.
Okay.
Yeah. These guys took the time and effort to ask a question. We can't just go Matt can't just march straight to the front of the line as they're
not sitting here with the computer.
Producer of the show.
So from Tech Guy, if the biggest problem is that the bike accelerates so hard it's lifting the front tire, that is not a bad problem to have.
No, I mean, part of that too could be, and probably has a lot to do with it. It's just that dirt that we're on. There's like unlimited traction in a lot of places. So I'm sure that's got, like I said, ride it somewhere we're more familiar with to kind of get a better feel, or see if that's kind of normal or if it's just the location we're riding it at. But yeah, the bike does have a lot of power. But like I said, it's not a hard to ride power. I feel like the 17 to 20 Honda 450, for example, it has a lot of power when it was hard to ride, at least for me. Where just is a lot of power, but smoother delivery. It just hooks up good. It's not ripping your arms off.
Yeah, Tech Guy, if Trevor were smarter, he just wouldn't have turned the throttle so far. And then it wouldn't have lifted the front tire. Yeah, I would have just rode a gear high all the time, and it's not a problem either. So,
all right. So from Gabriel Kopp on the on another YouTube comment, I would like a comparison between the YZ450F and the YZ450FX.
The FX is going to be the old one for another year.
Yeah.
So you could do that right now because you have an FX.
I just rode one this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you do with it?
We went fast, kind of.
Yeah. Won the Laughlin Desert Hare Scrambles.
Yep. Won that. Oh.
Yeah. I won that on a 125, Trevor, back in the days when only one man got to ride their motorcycle in a race. You didn't have to take your boyfriend with you out to the races so you could, finish it.
That's why there's a race.
That's a different kind of race. Did you run Worldly Rider graphics, which would be rainbows?
We did not. Ran gold rims, but not rainbow.
Did you dent the gold rims?
The front is not the same. I'll tell you that much.
Do you have a nice round blue one that I could get from you?
I do actually. A rear rim.
Rear rim. I need a round rear blue rim.
Might be more silver than blue now, but
that's okay. It happens. So, okay, we have any more?
That's pretty much it from the YouTube comments.
Okay, what about your question now?
So my question was going to be regarding, so there was a line in the article that mentioned, so the YZ corner is much better and it keeps a lot of its stability, but you mentioned it doesn't, to quote you, it says maybe not all of its stability from the previous model. So what do you mean by some loss of stability, but not a whole lot of it being gone?
So
if that question makes sense.
Yeah, no. So especially earlier in the morning, I was struggling with the front end, kind of like a little like twitchy feeling. I'd get on the brakes and the front end would I don't know how to explain it.
Well, okay, so I'm just gonna, just from experience, just poke some questions at you. Could it have been the extra traction?
Well, that's kind of what I was going with. Is I'm not used to that kind of traction. So that's kind of one thing. The first thing I said to the Yamaha guys was like, I don't know if it's me or the bike or just all this traction that I'm not used to, but this is what I'm having trouble with.
And you started going lower and lower on your rear sag, right?
Yeah.
So do you think it could have been a little bit too high in the rear and then putting extra weight on the front, causing it to get a little nervous?
Yeah. So that's what the first thing we did was we took out some high speed compression and then that helped. And then the next thing we did was I stiffened up the fork just to get it to ride a little higher in the stroke, not dive down quite as much. And then that helped. And then last thing we did, we went to a little more sag and that helped even more for me. So kind of all three things work together to help fix that.
You know why I don't work for a manufacturer like at an intro like that, helping set up for riders? Because I just tell them, I said, if you were a better rider, that wouldn't be a problem.
I mean, not all, not all of us have taken the Jimmy Lewis off-road riding school.
Hey, do the radiators still stick out too far on the YZ? Rick Levon wants to know.
They do not.
So
no.
It looks like they really concentrated on making that area look a lot thinner. Did it actually physically get more narrow?
It's 2 inches thinner, so 1 inch on each side.
Is that the top or is that all the way down? Like if you were able to pull a tape measure right across from radiator shroud to radiator shroud, would that come out?
I think it's
2 inches.
Tip of the shrouds.
The tip of the shroud. So where they kind of point up at the top.
Yeah.
And do they actually kind of curve in a little bit there? Remember how the old ones used to go out and bulge in, and then they bulge out and curve in, and they curved them in more and said it was more narrow, and they didn't change anything like where the radiators were.
Yeah.
And back then it wasn't any. We measured it. It wasn't any wider than any other bike up there. But the way that they have the air filter, and just since all that stuff is higher. And there's plastic kind of incorporated in there because you have the intakes for the air boxer up there. And you think about it, you never touch the bike there. You don't ever like your knees never go inbound of where it actually looks thick.
Yeah.
And riders were just, the visual thing was just kind of throwing them all off. So they changed a lot of stuff. So it looks like they're trying to make it more shaped like where it's like gas tank and then sort of a hole down to the radiators.
No, it's definitely thinner. Cause like even for me, like if I jump from like a Cowie or a Honda or even like especially a Honda onto a Yamaha for a lap, I'm kind of like notice the shrouds are a little bit wider in corners. I put my leg out. Then I get used to it right away because it's not that big of a deal. Whereas this bike now, you could jump right on and it feel just like any other bike.
Yeah, I wonder how much it's visual versus measuring all that stuff, because I think they struggled with the question for a long time because they knew that it wasn't really that much wider. I mean, for sure the plastic and stuff, but it's places you never touch the motorcycle. It's wider, but that's exactly what you see and what you're looking at. Yeah. So, okay, we out of YZ questions?
Oh yeah, that kind of answers all the questions I had. Was the high revving and the changing of the handling characteristics.
Our chat's beating up on Worldly Rider right now.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Okay. All these other questions are for they're not related to the YZ.
There is a YZ450FX question.
Okay.
Actually, there was two, but
one came across on the chat. Trevor, what really happened to the bike at the 24-hour?
Honestly, I haven't touched it since then. I watched it. I've been too busy, but we did lose a water pump seal. I know that. And so kind of what we think.
So the water went into the motor.
No, it came out
came out the bleed hole.
Yes.
And then the motor, because you asked why would there be oil in the airbox?
Yes. So we think as it got hot, ran out of the seal went bad or whatever, and then ran low on coolant. So maybe the motor got hot and started pumping oil out, and then that breather has a Y into the intake, and so it just did the intake.
Yeah, that's where right? Yeah, that's where they're vented into the intake just so it doesn't spit it out on the ground. But I remember when you called and asked, I'm like, did you overfill the oil? Was my first question, because it'll kind of self-regulate, and especially when we're running at high RPMs, the pressure in there, like that extra oil, it doesn't really have any place to go, and so it starts packing around in places, and then it kind of goes out the breather, which on that bike I believe it has to travel through the center of the cam and then go out of the breather hose that we're talking about, which vents into the airbox.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
So there's some YZ450FX questions I'll ask really quick. So Dan's Garage Builds had asked on YouTube what kind of front light setup cages you had on your YZ450FX.
It's from Modified Machine Works. They built like the cage and stuff, and then use the Baja Designs lights in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty clean.
So another question, I think it was sent in through Facebook or Instagram. I can't find it on YouTube. And I'm going to paraphrase it. It was essentially asking if the light led to any performance changes, or if the stator led to any performance changes in the bike.
Sort of like
so because you put a WR stator and flywheel on the FX, correct?
Yes.
So the question was, did that change anything?
Honestly, not that I could really tell. I didn't do it like back to back at the track, but yeah, I couldn't really tell much of a difference. Even like the flywheels weigh the same. So I'm not sure, like, maybe if the magnets are bigger on the WR to help power the lights. I don't know.
Or are there more windings on the stator?
I think the stator almost has less
on the WR.
Yeah,
interesting.
Really weird looking.
Yeah, so I haven't been inside one of those motors really to look at it, so I don't know. But yeah, so I think that's a question on Instagram. I think somehow
I think it was on Instagram.
Yes.
And whenever I pull up a second tab, the computer starts to make the sounds that it might want to start screaming again.
Yeah, don't do that.
So that's why I'm not going to Facebook.
Don't try to break this show. Okay, well, are we getting one back in California to test?
I hope so.
23. Oh, you hope so. You haven't made the arrangements for this yet.
I have not. I called Mike today, but no answer.
Yeah.
So maybe Stevie are working on that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he was bummed because of how much you drank at the intro. Did you wreck his budget there?
I don't know if I was the one that did that. I don't think it was me.
Right on. Well, hey, Trevor, thanks for coming on and tell us about the bike. If you have any questions, check out his videos. What I was going to tell Trevor is I was waiting for the question because I didn't do my homework or anything. I didn't do anything. I was going to tell Trevor, when they ask a question that is answered in the video that you did, that you took the time to do the video or the story that you wrote, they ask a question, just say, oh, I took the time to write that out in a very detailed manner so that you could read it over at dirtbiketest.com. Just click on the dirtbiketest.com and then any of those YZ things will give you that answer and more.
Yeah.
That's the way. That's probably why I don't get to go to those intros anymore, Trevor, you think?
Some people were asking about you, so I don't know if
you just told them I'm busy with my Grindr account. Got lots of stuff going on. I'm going to start OnlyFans. I told you this, right? Only Dirt Bike Test OnlyFans.
Hey, Jet Lawrence has the OnlyFans.
He does?
Yeah, but like OnlyFans was originally meant to be like it wasn't meant to be porn originally. It just kind of turned into that.
We're not going to go down this avenue on this show. I mean, we had Jerry Bernardo on, and that was evidently the best show we've ever done.
Yeah.
And then we talked about porn for half a show.
Well, we were talking about AI and how porn actually leads to a lot of advancements in the video industry.
See, Matt wants to go down this channel avenue right now, and I don't.
Well, I think it's just an interesting topic.
It's interesting because then you can say, well, I was studying.
Yeah. 100%. And you know what's funny is, never mind. I had something and then I lost it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you really want to support Dirt Bike Test and Trevor and myself, you can click through on our Amazon and Rocky Mountain MCATV links. When you do that, we get a small cut of the action. So when you're buying your things that you learned about when you're watching porn on Amazon, think of us. It sounded really bad.
Oh, we got a nice compliment from Blue Sky.
Okay.
Dirt Bike Test does not get an eighth of the respect it deserves. It is a legit and honest website, which is tough to find.
Man, thank you, Blue Sky. You're way better than that worldly rider who's trying to spam us or whatever he was doing. I watched an old 1970s movie. Oh no, that wasn't Blue Sky. It was Blue Summer. Man, I actually watched it because I wanted to see the vehicles.
Yeah.
It was 1970s porn.
Oh boy. Well, now you're bringing it up.
What is the email to send Roost or Endo pictures? Thanks, says Utah Desert Rider.
So I'm putting it in the chat for our live audience, but for those listening to this as a podcast, just email it to matt@jimmylewisoffroad.com.
Right. And Gregory says, you really had Jerry Bernardo. Yes. Yeah. He got dropped off by aliens.
Yeah, and
that's the only true part of that story.
It was really freaky watching him get picked back up by the aliens too.
I know. Yeah, good times. Hey, a couple other things. There is a motocross track up in Boise, Idaho, that is having a hard time right now. They are under threat. They're literally just 4 miles from downtown. They've been there forever. It's the Oahe. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Oahe.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm trying to find the link again.
Motocross track. We're going to throw a link up in there. They have a raffle going on right now where you could win a new Husky 501 that's all kitted out with a lot of cool stuff if you donate to their legal, basically, it's not even a legal defense fund. They went through a mitigation and they have to do a whole bunch of improvements to the property to stop drainage and runoff. Have you raced up there, Trevor? Done a Grand Prix or anything?
In Boise?
In Boise.
No.
The track up there. Yeah, it's really cool. It's amazing how it's up a canyon just outside of town. And the area is getting a little gentrified. And one neighbor bought all the property around it and thought the motocross track would just magically go away after nearly 100 years. And that's not going to happen. And these guys are really, really trying to get everything done right so they can stay there for a while longer. So this raffle basically supports them doing some work on runoff and erosion stuff. So support that. And one of the things you can also win is a free Jimmy Lewis off-road training. So I'm supporting it because I've ridden there before. I thought it was a cool place, and we need to keep places like this around.
Here's the link to donate
for the children. And it's the Owyhee Motorcycle Club. If you just Google that, if you're just listening to this, check it out, and you're putting money to a good cause. I really, when I see these kind of things, and the other thing is Blue Ribbon Coalition right now is going huge, trying to keep Moab open because we have all of our anti-access people that are doing that. I think today literally was the last day you could comment on the travel management plan. But I'm sure it's going to end up in court, so you can always send them some money as well. Do we have calls?
No. I was just shutting
it down. Okay. Hey, Trevor, thanks a lot for joining us. Should I call Scott next?
He probably has something to say.
Did he come up really short on a double jump?
He did.
It's on video. Was he injured?
He was not. His ego might have been injured a little bit, but he wasn't injured.
So he doesn't do too much social media, correct?
Yes.
You should put that on Dirt Bike Test's Instagram because he'll never see it. Put it on Dirt Bike Test Instagram and say we tested the suspension. We.
Oh, and the spoke tension, yeah.
He was doing the job. He was doing my job for me. I'm so good at coming up short on doubles and triples too. But Scott does it better. I guess he wants to be better than me.
I will say he didn't have the hardest landing out there, though. Kiefer had a pretty big one. So
on that?
No, there's another bigger double, and Kiefer overjumped it like twice. And I watched the whole thing, and it was not good. It was not pretty. So, he's okay.
Yeah. So, all the magazine guys trying to show each other who's fast. I remember those days. I quit. So, hey, we got a question from Kenneth Tyhan.
I have a question on how I should waste my money. Should I keep my 2004 KTM 450, which is plated, and pick up a cheap, older two-stroke like a KDX 200 for wood/single track riding? Or should I sell the KTM and get a newer TPI 300? Basically 2 old bikes versus 1 new bike.
Buy a new Yamaha.
Right, yeah. Yamaha, Blue Crew. Visit YamahaMotorsports.com to enter the victory zone. Like, there's no way we would have said that if we weren't just shills for that company.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting question. So he has a plated 2004 KTM, which is a trail bike. And so he's talking about trail riding and get an older two-stroke like a KDX 200 for woods and single track. Well, what are you using your KTM 450 for? Is sort of where... Why don't you keep that KTM 450 and then just pick up that new TPI? Or he needs to sell it in order to get... I'm not understanding where he's...
Yeah, I'm going to assume he has enough money for an older bike, or if he sells his current bike, he'll have enough money for a newer bike.
He said it was a good answer.
Yeah.
He's going to go to the Yamaha dealer tomorrow. That's good.
Wait, yeah, there we go.
You're right, Trevor.
There we go.
Okay, here you go. It's an MXC, so first gear is too long for the woods. Understood completely. Yes. And what year was it? 2004?
Yeah, no 4.
Oh God, sell all that shit and get a new bike. I'm not kidding. It's like breaking into outer orbit. It's such the new bikes are so much better. Anything, if you can get anything like 2000 and I'm going to say 16 is like the last big leap, but even the 20s made a huge leap. Like there was that change they did in 20.
Yeah.
If you want something that's really familiar, you can get a YZ450 two-stroke, a YZ450FX, or a YZ450X would be your two-stroke, right, Trevor?
That's a good two-stroke.
That's a good two-stroke. Hasn't changed.
No, hasn't changed. If he is a KTM guy, the new TBI throttle body injected two-strokes are pretty good too. So
yeah,
even for trail riding, it's pretty good.
I think they're other than, the XC is kind of stiff and, it's still kind of a race bike as opposed to the to the XCW. It's a little more trail bike, because it sounds like he's really looking for a trail, trail bike. I still think that just the TBI motor will transition over to I'm pretty sure it'll transition over to the XCW eventually. I mean, it'll get that XCW will get a electronic power valve. I don't know how I think they'll probably they'll do the fuel in the TBI method as well, but I kind of think they're going to stick with the oil injection. I think that most people kind of prefer the simplicity of that. I know I do. But I think they were just being careful when they made TPI, and now they've learned a lot about it. And now they have a better system, so they're going to go there. So, okay. So Kenneth, you will not be disappointed by riding a much newer bike than a 2004.
Well, and then if the keeping it plated was important, how about like a KTM 350?
If he has a plated MXC, he's probably living in a place where it's easy to plate whatever. Okay. So yeah. And KTM has demo rides, by the way. They have demo rides all over the place, and if you can kind of hook up and do one of those, actually Yamaha has those too. Yamaha has Rains Riding University. Go ride a new bike, especially if you do if you're dropping 10 grand, a lot of time it's really worth it to kind of research out those things. Beta has a demo rig that goes around to different events. Sometimes you just have to find where there's a National Enduro or a GNCC or something that they're doing these in conjunction with, and you will see how good the new bikes really are. So hopefully, I know that answered his question. Yeah, except it emptied it. He said he wanted to waste money. You're not wasting money. Like,
it's going to a good place.
Yeah. Oh, Blue Sky says finance the 300 TPI at 25% over 6 years and live like there's no tomorrow. I have seen the prices on the 2-strokes in California go way down in the last couple of months. Like, dealers are selling them below sticker because they're hard to register there. So that's I don't know where you're at, but I almost thought about buying a new one. I don't need one. Someone left a KTM 500 at my house just expecting me to buy it the other day.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that off air, actually.
Yeah. Jim just dropped the bike off, and then the negotiations are ongoing. And I said, I'm going to have to cut open some mattresses, to work on the affording it. And he said he's not taking any Confederate money. So that's where we're at with that. So, okay, Trevor, it's probably past your bad time, or you got to go hit the bottle, one or the other, right?
Both.
Hey, hitting the bottle helps you hit the mattress.
So was your dad pretty happy with the result, considering the night before?
Oh, he said he's been telling me I should have been doing that years ago. So of course he was.
I'm telling you, don't do that. I'm telling you right now, I didn't do it when I was your age, and it didn't. I don't think. Wait till you get old, and then you can become a professional at something else. So, anyways, hey, good job on the race win. Was Hayden holding you up? Was he going a little too slow?
He went just the perfect speed, because we never ran fast, never had any problems. So that was good.
And what caused the switch to the Yamaha?
It's a better bike. Or it's a better bike for us for that race.
Right.
And we're having ATM right now. So that was another reason. But overall, we did think it was a better bike for that race. So yeah, we wanted to race it and see how it worked.
Right. Well, cool. Okay. Well, we'll see you on the show the next time you have something interesting to talk about. So we'll see you out in the trail, Trevor. Is it time for us to take a break, Matt?
Yeah, we'll go and we'll take a break. And then do you want to come back with Roost or Endo, or keep busting out some questions?
We'll just go straight into Roost. We'll do whatever comes naturally.
All right.
Okay, Trevor, see you.
See you, bud.
All right. Sounds good.
What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. What is the Taco Touch? It's the best service in the industry. Virtually 24/7 tech support via email or text. And it's like having a dirt bike doctor on call every day of the year, helping you fix your bike or recommend parts or setups for you. If you've ever received an order from us, you know that the Taco Touch extends to our fulfillment, and our orders come with the coolest stickers that you've ever had, buying parts from anybody before, and a handful of root beer barrel candies. All of our Taco Moto co-branded components come with a no questions asked lifetime warranty, and we'll even extend out the warranty of other manufacturers, OEM, and aftermarket parts where we can, sometimes for life. We test and tune endlessly and exhaustively and obsessively. We're trying to destroy everything that we can before you get your hands on it, to look for weaknesses and to improve it, or to make recommendations to the manufacturer. And if it's something that doesn't meet grade, then we don't offer it on the store. Everything that we carry is something that we have personally used, tested, and ridden and raced, and knows meets the high Taco Touch demanding standard. Go out and get some adventure.
Since 2009, Seat Concepts has been dedicated to making the best aftermarket seats. More comfort, more grip, more riding. For 10 years, we've continued to raise the bar. Innovation and American craftsmanship make Seat Concepts the world-leading manufacturer of power sports seats.
All right, and we're back.
Yeah, we're back. I'm back. I'm drinking cough medicine it's pre-cough medicine.
Oh yeah.
We think that maybe the incense I'm burning here in my hippie office that might be the cause.
It could be. It's hit or miss with the incense sometimes.
Cats, you don't like cats?
The cats really get me.
Right.
Yeah.
You sound great. Okay, so
yeah.
Matt Mattoon, co-host / producer, but I'm keeping it at arm's length distance because I don't like to get sick.
You know, the people who listen to this as a podcast will have no idea that I'm sitting a little further from you than usual. I'm back in my old podcast, back in my old producer seat.
Right.
So.
Well, that's good. That's why I'm explaining this.
Yeah.
I mean, we could be hugging the whole time on the show.
We could be, but that would be uncomfortable.
Horrible. Okay, let's get right into the segment we like to call Taco Moto's Roost or Endo. This is brought to you by tacomoto.co. They are a aftermarket supplier for all of your dirt bike needs. So if you need something, go to tacomoto.co and they'll have whatever you need and something else. And that's why they're giving away a $100 gift certificate for the bike in this contest that we decide gives us the most enjoyment. Yep. Okay, what are we starting with? You pick it.
So let me look at the first one that's there.
Oh, well, wait. Oh, you don't have...
Aaron Gray.
Wait a minute. So you don't have any of this crap. I have it all over. You're not getting anywhere near me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I put it over there to make sure that, minimizing the transfer.
Well, see, I thought we were going to do it like we usually do, where you talk about it, you read all the stuff.
Oh, I have all the stuff right here in front of me on my computer.
Yeah, but you can't even size the photo on the damn show. So if you're watching the show right now, there's a bike bouncing around all over the
It does this
screen.
every show.
It does. I know it does it every show, but I'm just pointing it out for the people on the podcast that we so carefully take care of.
We do.
Hey, I'd like to give a shout out to all my friends working at the shops that are listening to this. There's some really good mechanics out there. The guys like at Inside Line Moto, I know they listen to this show, and they often will let me know that they enjoy it. And then they say, sometimes, Jimmy, we don't know what the hell you're talking about, which is the truth. So I'm going to go ahead and just read it off because it's easier for me right now. This is Aaron Gray's 2018 Husqvarna FE501. Remember when we couldn't say that word? We were calling them the white KTMs.
Yeah, and this was back when you were actually sponsored by KTM, right?
I know. That showed you how well that worked out. Right now, we're Blue Crew. We're all about the Yamahas. So I don't even know why we're talking about a Husky right now, because our corporate overlords may not like us. But this has a Recluse Radius CX Creft Moto forks and shock build with micro polishing. And let me tell you, if you want to learn more about the Creft stuff, go to dirtbiketest.com. I did a full review that took me like over a year to get done. And that's how we test stuff. Just like, I think it was Blue Sky was the one that complimented us on like giving us legit information out.
Yeah.
If I would have been like every other Insta journalist that's out there, I would have got the $2,800 worth of suspension work done. Are you going to go outside and die, Bob?
No.
Okay, just checking. We want to know if we have to scoop the body up. What do we call Bob? Mojave Bob? What's he? He's the show puppet or stand-in or
Peanut gallery.
Peanut gallery. That's right. The peanut gallery just left, which is better than him falling asleep like he usually does.
Yeah,
it's good. Show must be interesting. It scared him away. Back onto the Kreft stuff. I took a long time to write this because I wanted to make sure I fully understood what it was, how it worked, all the different things. I sent the shock back a couple times to get it right because that's what a revalve is supposed to do. And it's all explained in the test. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore other than he talks about the micro polishing on the fork. And I think they do the shock shaft too, but I know they do it on the fork.
Ooh, that's a fun part to say.
Shock shaft?
Yeah.
Jeez, Matt.
That's fun.
The micro polishing actually allows a small amount of oil to travel and keep the seals lubed up. This is for stiction. This is a pretty trick thing. It's a different way of doing, instead of a really expensive coating, it's a process they can do that actually, it seems like it's helping my fork seals last longer, believe it or not. Because that bike, I've actually, suspension's been on 3 different bikes now, and I have not done anything to the forks other than change the clickers around. They've just kind of been bouncing around 2 different bikes. So, okay, Onyx Hydra left-hand rear brake, FMF 4.1, titanium muffler, P3 carbon head protector, XP Extreme skid plate with Lynx guard, bulletproof designs, radiator braces. We like bulletproof designs. Bulletproof designs chain slider tab guard. That is a good product to have. That'll save you a swing arm. Enduro Engineering front and rear rotor guards. Front rotor guard.
Yeah, and it's even you can see it in the picture too. Actually,
yeah, they always change the angle a little bit.
Yeah, and the picture's another thing.
If you don't know why we are such a big fan of the front rotor guard, it has to do with this story about the P and the Princess.
Princess and the P.
Right. So,
old folktale.
Yeah, folktale. The tugger, front and rear tuggers. Those are good, especially when you're doing some extreme riding. Mooses, front and rear, nitro mooses. Fastway Evolution 4 foot pegs, or Chirby's 3.1 gallon gas tank, Vortex ECU. He has a TE tail. Do you expect that he spelled it out like that so we don't say it wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a TE tail.
Maybe.
If you say it faster, like say TE really fast.
TE. T.
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 T. He should have put TET tail. Then you go TD tail.
Yeah.
Kind of like Cooper.
Yeah.
We've got a comment in the chat right now. Jim, can you bring in Logan as a special guest? He's like your Gilligan and you are the skipper. It's, you know what?
Hey, where's Ginger?
Let's get a Ginger.
Yeah, we need a Ginger in here.
We need a Ginger in here. You know what we need? We need a cardboard cutout of Logan and be exactly the same. and then just about every 6 weeks, we'll just cut it and add an inch to it, and it'll grow.
Pretty much. Hey, he talks a little bit more these days.
Not to me.
Oh, he does to me. I
don't think either of those 2 clowns said 4 words to me this whole weekend.
See, they were joking around with me.
I yelled at them all weekend long.
I'm glad you yelled at one of them for one of the things, because when I asked Logan the thing that it turned out to be, I just had to right away.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
thanks for catching that.
Yeah.
My screen was caught.
Got it.
You, so.
Hey, the list goes on for Aaron Gray. Taco Moto front LED wrap blinkers. Those are pretty cool. I like those things. Trailtech Voyager Pro, especially when they're on like somebody else's bike and I try to ride by it with my bike that has hand guards. And if they had these, I wouldn't knock their lens cover off of their turn signals. Poor George.
George had a rough.
His bike got a little too close to mine, and I was riding through the garage, and he was like standing there, and I did like a, I don't even know what you would call it. I'm gonna call it. I don't know if it'd be a Randy Hawkins flick or a LoJack flick or something. Some of these guys that used to go through the trees really fast. I did that, but I tagged George's turn signal blinker with my handguard in the garage, and it broke. And if you would have had the Taco Moto front LED wrap blinkers, this wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
And if I was a better boss, I would have bought him a set. But I just think it's funny that his bike his bike looked like all of mine with a broken blinker. Trail Tech Voyager Pro with aluminum dock, sick ass racing on off switch and multifunction switch, Cycro Progan handguards. When I get this deep into a list, Aaron Gray, I'm expecting to see this bike pop up on Facebook for sale tomorrow. Cycro Proban handguards, BRP submount with Scott stabilizer and rubber isolators, BRP top bar mounts, Baja Designs XL80 from Moto Minded with high-low. This bike is sounding so close to one of mine. Like he's got 60% of my products on there. Steg pegs, 2 pucks, not.
Nope. that just disqualified it.
That's when it goes off something different. Hey, nothing wrong with them. I get it. The Ride Shop folding rear brake pad, Rhino Moto beefy clutch cover, Seat Concepts comfort seat. That's good. Dingo Enduro fork guards and Enduro plate. So this bike is stacked. It's like a real top heavy broad. It's advertising like a chainsaw or something. Like a chainsaw? What? How come nobody has their girls draped over their bikes? Like all the magazines, the other magazines used to do. Because I
expect it now.
I know. Well, hey,
this is how we get the viewerships up. If people did this,
and then I wouldn't be responsible for it, so it's totally fair game.
Yeah.
So we all know that we like a different kind of photo, and I saw this photo when it was zoomed out, Matt, and I was pretty disappointed. No,
it's. I was gonna say I mentioned that we hadn't even gotten to the photo yet.
Yeah, so lighting was horrible. It took you about 20 minutes to size it right.
There's no foreground. Where's the background is just...
Did he let it sit there and idle and did it leak that puddle on the ground?
Maybe.
I mean, it's out in the middle of the street. Hopefully he's not too close to a school because you could get in trouble for that.
Yeah. I don't really dig the 501 numbers on a 501 bike. It's kind of cheesy.
The manufacturers put the number on it.
Yeah, but he's putting it on his number plate.
He's proud of it.
You can be proud of it, but that's a little cheesy for me.
I'm getting 570 graphics for my Husaberg now. You said that. Somebody will probably send them to me. Send me some number plates with 570. Well, Aaron, I like your bike. I like your bike. I like 80% of the products. I hate the photo. And
it's a Camaro in the background.
It's a Camaro.
Yeah, way back there. I don't think it's his. Looks like it's
is that a Firebird? It's a Camaro. I don't know.
No,
cars
that's a Camaro. That's a Camaro right there.
Yeah,
it's a newer Camaro. I don't know what year, but
it's probably his too. Yeah. Anybody has a Camaro would have a 501 on their number plate. Right. Yeah, it's gonna roost. That's a pretty. I mean, he's got a lot of cool stuff on there. He probably has reasons for every one of those things, and seems pretty good. Plus, he's supporting some of the companies that support this show, and that's important to us. Yeah, that really does. It helps.
Totally does not. It totally boosts the rating.
Right. So what I was going to say about like if we start getting, I've been now. I'm looking at Riley's bike, Riley Misbah.
Yeah, and it didn't get printed out like that. It was just a blurry submission.
Oh, okay. So it's his thumbnail photo. It's a bigger picture. Is that the full size of the picture?
Pretty much. It doesn't really fit in the screen.
Well, that's okay. He might be like Bob, and he has a data plan that like works on pixels.
Yeah,
yeah.
But you know what? It's a much better photo if it wasn't for the.
Oh, I want to go ride there because that looks like kind of nice sandy like DG. Like if that was wet, that looks cool. That to me looks like.
Well, and is that a tower too? A rally tower?
I don't know. I'll read this thing and see what it has on it, but that looks like that DG that's up around like in the Sierras, up in the kind of southern Sierras, and actually there's places up near Yosemite and stuff that are like this.
Yeah, it looks like a gorgeous area.
Looks pretty cool. Riley's bike, we don't know what it is. He didn't tell us, so that's strike one.
Yep.
But he did have a good photo, so he's kind of right now he's tying with Aaron here. MX Tech Lucky cartridges. That's like a big suspension thing as well. Bob's putting his finger on the screen. What are you touching?
He's like salivating over it.
The weenie-like object back behind his seat. We'll see if we can get to that. Bulletproof designed wheels, bulletproof designs radiator guards, Bulletproof Designs swing arm guard. Again, talking about all of our sponsors. Bulletproof Designs rear caliper guard, rear disc guard, linkage guard. So lots of bulletproof designs in this bike. So that bike is well protected. You can go to Bulletproof Designs for all of your 2023 needs. And even before, because I still get Bulletproof Design stuff for my older bikes when I start having problems. So, and if I ever replace radiators, when I don't have Bulletproof Design stuff and I put a new radiator on it, then I get Bulletproof Designs guards for them then. And I should have just done it first, and then I would have saved money. Scott Steering Stabilizer. Lawrence Elite 7 TI2 with PCI maps. Sounds like a car guy now. Cycra Pro Bends, a Chirby's 3.1 tank, Golden fuel filter, a Chirby's fork guards, a Chirby's seat, a Chirby's frame guards, a Chirby's swing arm guards. Taco Moto Tune Get ECU, Taco Moto Desmog Kit, Protomobile End Cap, P3 exhaust guard. There's a theme going here. There's a lot of the same stuff. Giant Loop rear fender rack. That's what it is, Bob. Oh. Giant Loop rear fender rack. It might be pack, but it's rack, it says here.
Yeah, I see rack as well.
Husqvarna rear fender bag. So sick-ass front turn signals, sick-ass turn signals, Cyclops, LED headlight. I think this is the same thing. He was one strike down, but he at least got to first base with this one.
Yep.
It's a nice bike. Where are we going next? Who do you want?
Let's do let's do which one do you have?
Poya.
Okay.
Poya Cisan. He has a 2017 KTM EXC 500 with 6,800 kilometers. Where's he from?
I'm gonna guess not the States. They use the superior system of measurements there.
He says he's gonna forget some stuff here, but going off the superior measurement system, he has a IMS 4.5 gallon fuel tank.
Well, there goes that theory.
But if you're a Brit, you drive in kilometers and then you have gallons, correct?
Yeah, and you have miles per hour as well.
Right.
The British have a weird system.
They're no worse than us. They're just superior. But if he's in Britain, which he's not, or actually, they don't have any hills like this.
Or mountains like that,
No.
right?
Not that high. Those look pretty. Well, maybe you rode over to Italy or something like that.
Canadian?
Could be Canadian.
Well, no, they use liters there too.
But if he was Canadian, he would have taken a picture of his bike in a tunnel. Yeah. So, IMS 4.5 gallon tank, Baja Works windshield, ARC clutch and brake lever, highway dirt bikes handguards with tuck-away mirrors, P3 heat shield, 697275 Newton meter shock spring. And he actually converted it over to pounds, getting back to our metric system.
Yeah.
It's 187 to 209 pound spring. I think he's into the numbers here. Fork springs, 187 to 209 pounds, which means that it is he didn't give us a conversion, but that I think that would be a 4.8 or a 5.0 fork spring. I don't know. Hammerhead foot controls, skid plate, pegs, seat concept seat. He got all those numbers out and then he just ran out of all the stuff. Seat concept seat, Taco Moto Power Commander, PMB end cap, Moscow Moto Reckless 40 setup. Horrible photo.
Inconsistent measurements. Units of measurements.
Inconsistent units. Endo. Oh, really?
You did it. What's the first thing you do when you see units and measurements is you got to convert them to one system and then use that throughout the rest of the problem.
I agree.
So you got to use one or the other. You can't use both. We're getting some mixing and mingling here.
Right. He's got two strikes because the photo is just really, he should have done a little bit of work on the lighting. Although I kind of want to ride up there and look around, but I don't really want to ride on those rocks that much.
It doesn't look like a fun
It's
area.
Well, the problem is it's okay to just cruise on it, and up there you'd be cruising and sightseeing and not paying attention where you're going, and then you're going to hit one of those rocks and it's going to send you for a loop. So that's what I'm seeing right there.
Yeah.
But he's venturing out. He's got the screen and all the stuff, the bags.
I'm jealous. Like it looks like he could just pitch a tent but probably not where there are all those, not
good.
with all those rocks there, but he could
put
just
a lightning rod up and you're all good, but use the motorcycle for the lightning rod. Yeah. It's always nice when the motorcycle, I don't know if I've told this story, probably have on this show, but who knows. We were out riding once and I was riding along with my buddy and I always kind of have a finger or two on the brake and the clutch lever, usually mostly on the clutch lever. And I noticed that I go, son of a bitch, my kill button. Something's wrong with my kill button. So I started getting shocked through the clutch lever. And I mean, not a little bit, like a lot. I noticed it. I remember this happening when I was a kid, when my kill button ground went away and it started shocking me. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is kind of weird. And it was sort of thunder showery, but it was behind us and we didn't really see it, but it was coming on us real quick.
Yeah.
Well, it was lightning. And we were close enough to where it was like, and I looked over the guy I was riding with and he looked at me and it was like, you were fucked. Because we're in a valley, a big, giant valley, big ass valley. And there's no place to hide. And this is up near Tonopah, Nevada. And we were coming down towards a dry lake bed. It tells you how flat it was and stuff like that. And it was like, we skidded to a stop, looked behind us. There's lightning strikes going everywhere, all over the place. And so we laid down in a ditch, like in the lowest place we get, like laid down in this ditch. It was about a foot taller than us. And we're just like laying down. And it's crackling thunder and lightning's coming. And it's getting darker and it's coming and it's raining like crazy just above us. And we stayed there and like, I'm not getting up, but the lightning strike started getting even closer.
Yeah.
And both of our bikes were parked next to each other on this road about like, I don't know, 40 or 50 feet away from us. And I'm like, I want to be able to get out of here. So I'm going to jump up, grab my bike, push it down the road, lay it over on its side. I'm going to take the risk to do that right now because that's the highest thing for 8 miles.
Yeah.
It was the tallest thing. And I'm like, I'm just going to do this and later. So when I pushed my bike and laid it over, he sat there for a couple minutes. He went and pushed his bike up the other way, laid it over on the ground because we wanted to be able to ride out of there. But I imagine that if it got struck by lightning, but here's the worst part. So we were laying there waiting for the lightning to subside, and finally the front passed us and it just started raining on us. Then the flash flood came in the ditch we were laying in. So it was like no longer, at that point, it was like the lightning kind of subsided. We had to go back the other way, ride back through the stinking thunder shower.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's don't mess around with lightning, boys and girls. So, okay. That one endoed.
Yeah.
Got it. Brian Dotterwick.
Our first non-Austrian of the night.
Yeah. This is a 2007 XR650R, which is a Honda with the super tanker tank. You know what's funny? Is I almost pulled mine out of the shop, out of the container today. Oh. I almost was thinking I should take it back to California and have it around for Heather to ride because that's her favorite adventure bike currently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she just likes that thing. And it's just been sitting here rotting. I have one for sale, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But mine has that super tanker seat and an electric starter. But he has the seat concept seat, which, man, that would be a good seat to have on that bike. He has bark busters. He has giant loop bags there, first edition. And he says this is a great adventure bike. So I guess you and Heather, Brian, have something in common. Liking that is a good adventure bike. I'm really disappointed that Honda sort of abandoned that and didn't pursue making it into something that could have been a lot better. I mean, it was a good bike. It won Baja a lot of times, and we used to take those down through the Altar Desert with those tanks, and we'd carry in 2 gallons of gas so you can tell how remote we were going. What an awesome bike. So I think that this thing, nice picture. We can see all the stuff. There's cows in the pasture. It looks like he's in southern Idaho, I'm guessing. Looks that way, but I don't know.
Does that lake indicate anything?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I can't tell exactly where.
That's more of a pond than a lake.
Yeah, but like a reservoir for all those cows. But yeah, that bike Roost.
That's a good Roost, yeah.
That's a Roost. I like that.
Could you imagine if they had fuel injection with that? Or is that something you don't even have to imagine, but you can't really talk about too much?
No, I can. No, I don't know that bike. It's like a KLR 650. It wouldn't change. It's just the motor, the character of the motor and stuff. I don't think it would change all that much. So Cole Kellum. Oh, that looks really familiar. So 2019 KTM 350 EXCF. That's a good bike. Got one of those. It has Taco Moto Tune Vortex, Scott steering damper, Moto seat, IMS foot pegs, and a few other Taco parts. Baja designed headlight. Titty tail, spelled T-I-T-T-I tail. Titty tail. Yeah, titty tail.
Wow.
Those are popular. And in a Chirby's tank. He has a seat concept seat on there.
He does.
No, it's a Moto seat. It's not a seat concept seat. It's a Moto seat. Competitor product. He didn't talk about his
lighting is not good.
His muffler, the lighting in the photo. Yeah, another backlit photo.
Okay, is it the angle or does that sprocket look big?
That looks like a 53.
It looks like a big sprocket.
They come with sometimes they come with a 51, but yeah, it does look big.
No front disc guard.
No, it's good. Yeah.
This one's pretty just meh.
It's a little meh.
Great bike, love it.
Right, I want to go riding there. I saw he rode up the road and then pulled it off to the side. He actually tried to get the photo, right? As you see the road down in the corner.
Yeah, no, we can see some effort, but the light source is the wrong way.
He's got a pretty stock bike. Kind of just a few things. Man, this is a tough one to pick my favorite. Does this Roost or Endo?
That one goes right in the middle. It's kind of in the middle, leaning towards Endo.
That's a full waffle there. You got to pick a side on this.
That was not a full waffle. I said it leans Endo.
Leans to Endo.
Yes, because
so give him a strike. We're gonna give him a strike on the photo, but he did put the.
Oh, he does say Moto seat.
He did.
I thought he didn't mention the seat.
No. He did say year, make, and model, so he got that right. He did. It's outside of his garage. And it makes me want to ride. Just hard to see the bike there. You know, the phone doesn't know if you're trying to take a scenic picture or a picture of the bike.
This is something I'm running into with my phone videos that I'm trying to take.
If you had a really hot girlfriend that was riding there with you and she was behind the bike, that could completely change the let's say the attitude about this photo. I would think. I don't know if that's probably, you probably should have done that. So,
soft Endo.
No, I'm going to go with soft Roost.
Okay.
Then the reason is that he hasn't gone overboard with this bike.
No, because you don't need to with it.
Yeah. So, boy, okay, now we have to go back and pick a winner.
I already have a winner, but that's just because it's...
Go ahead, and if I don't like it, I'll just overrule.
It's Brian, because he's the only one who submitted a non-Austrian bike. It's either Brian or Riley.
Brian or Riley. And Riley was the...
Oh, wait, Riley didn't tell us the year, make, and model. Ooh, no. Never mind. So just Brian for me.
Just Brian?
Yeah, that's my vote.
I think, man, this is a tough one. They're kind of getting, in my world, a little vanilla.
I feel like we're starting to just see the same bike over and over again.
It shows that some of these aftermarket companies are doing really good.
Yeah,
I mean, because everybody's got their stuff on it, and by everybody, I mean like almost everybody.
Oh, Riley is in the chat. 2021 FE350 SL.
Right. So he's correcting his mistakes. I like the fact that he's in the chat. So
wait, I think he might have. Wait,
he
can send in a better quality pic too. He doesn't know why that quality is trash.
Okay, will your hot girlfriend be in the picture? That could make a substantial difference in the voting.
Well, Jimmy, I don't know if we can trust that it's actually his girlfriend because Photoshop is a very powerful program.
Oh, well, I don't care.
Utah Desert Riders voting the XR.
Right. Yeah, why don't we, what's the,
Hot wife.
okay. Yeah, Matt, don't send them all to your phone.
I'm not sending my phone.
Don't be texting him onto your phone right now. That's not fair.
I'm sending him my email.
Oh, yeah, that's what
my professional email.
Got it. The 650R picture is in South Dakota, so Brian is in the chat.
Brian's also in here.
Okay. So here we're having our runners up and stuff. Okay, we got a couple more minutes of this show. So here's what we're gonna do. I think these two are at a tie. Can you put pictures in the chat? Does that work?
No.
I don't know.
Not
how that
really
works.
with this software.
No, that doesn't work. Okay.
I might.
Okay. If either of you guys can send Matt a better photo.
Oh, but Brian's was good.
Yeah. South Dakota. And I said
Idaho.
I said Southern Idaho. So yeah, I was wrong, which is normal.
Which let's see.
Oh, by the way, tonight's tequila is the Dos Artes, and the only reason I'm drinking the Dos Artes is because it was the one that was closest to me, and I don't want to get whatever Matt has right now. So thank you to actually Emily from Rebel Rally got me this. Emily and Captain Larry.
Oh, nice.
Captain Larry, who came on once to give us Captain Larry's safety talk.
He did a good job too.
He did a really good job.
I liked him on the show.
He just,
we get a lot of great guests when they come on.
I know, but most people are scared. They're scared to call. They won't call. So you can call the Hot Seat Concepts Hot Seat Hotline at any time, 775-318-5515, and leave a message, especially if you've been drinking.
Yes, especially
if you've been drinking. Don't hold back. Let us know what you really think of the show. So if you're driving right now and this podcast is just pissing you off, when you get home, or maybe if you're stuck in traffic, just add that extra anger. Go ahead and dial up 775-318-5515. That's the Seat Concepts Hot Seat Hotline, and let us know what you think.
Another thing that we discussed before the show is
Utah Desert Racer says my picture is good. So do we have Utah Desert Racer's bike in here? Well, is he one of the ones in here? Or is he doubling up on the accounts there and he's going to vote for himself?
Maybe we'll see.
We'll figure out how this stuff goes.
But also another option, like if another option is if you want to send in a voice memo, you can go ahead and email me that at matt@jimmylewisoffroad.com.
Okay.
Let's see. Utah Desert. Oh, if it's in my email, then it's in the queue. It's not for this show. It's going to be for the next show.
Right. So
which I actually haven't getting a lot of emails with Roost or Endo lately.
No, that's good. Yeah. People are back on the show. They probably
keep sending them, please.
Well, it was, they probably watched the Jerry Bernardo show.
Yeah.
Episode 159, where we completely threw the format of the show out the window.
Yep.
And we didn't do it. So Brian and Riley, it's up to whoever sends a better picture in, or whoever can get more of your friends to come in the chat and vote for you. That's the way this is going to go.
Right now we have one vote for the XR in the chat.
You have 15 minutes to make your dream come true with the $100 Taco Moto .co gift certificate.
Yeah, we're changing lives.
I gotta get Taco Mike on the show.
We do. It's been a while since
he's been in here. Sometimes he sounds like a almost as bad as me, a shill for a company, but at least he owns one. So, hey, we have some questions on my Tenere 700 vlog. By the way, the product of the week, the Bulletproof Designs product of the week this week that I'm going to talk about is my Yamaha Tenere 700.
Yeah.
Because I finally got a chance to ride it just because I rode it in my school this week and I used it as my bike I was riding and demonstrating and do all this stuff on. And I quit thinking about, I was just doing what I was doing. I was doing something else and I started riding it and I started noticing some things. So because I usually teach the class on my KTM 1090. I have for forever, or my Hutzenberg. Those are the two bikes I generally, when I'm coaching, I'll hop on anything, but those are the two that I favor depending on how many adventure bikes are in the class. And we had 2 KTM. We had a 790 and 890 in the class this weekend. So I said, I'll ride the Tenere the whole weekend. And I started noticing a few different things about the bike that I like and some things I didn't. So number one, I switched over to the seat concept seat and I put the Kenda big blocks on the bike. And that's what I talked about in the vlog that I did. It's on our YouTube channel. There's a whole little series on, I think we're on episode 4, but as I start modifying it and changing, I'm going to, talk about the changes I did. I did the tires, number one, because Kenda supports my riding schools and I wanted to have Kenda tires on there. And I'm familiar with the way that the Pirelli Scorpions on that bike work, and they're not good enough in the dirt for me to really, really trust them. I mean, they're okay, but there's a big difference. And by big difference, I mean, it's a small difference, but it's a big difference to me because everything's about traction. And so I wanted to get something I was a little more familiar with and something that had just a little bit more off-road bite. I got that with the Kendas, but I also noticed that the Kendas are a stiffer tire, and now I want to play with the suspension a little bit, and I'm running much lower pressure, not much, but instead of 27 front and rear, I'm down to 20 on the front and 24 in the rear, and it's still a little stiff because tire carcass, which surprised me, which also makes me think that bike is quite a bit lighter on the scale than my KTMs, and I haven't had a chance to go throw it up on the scale to compare them, but it sure feels lighter. It's so much easier to do some of the stupid stuff I do in the school, like riding over logs or whatever. Just easier bike to ride. So I was pretty happy with that. The motor's smooth. It goes plenty fast. It does all the things, like for me, what an adventure bike should do. So I'm pretty happy with it. But one thing I didn't like is the brake pedal is like, it's a metal brake pedal. It reminds me of the old Honda XR brake pedals that were, according to Bruce Ogilvy, designed to be wrapped around the foot peg, and then you could bend them back around the foot peg and put them back and they wouldn't break. But that also leads to kind of a flimsy kind of feeling. And so you wonder, like, the Tenere, the price point of the Tenere is quite a bit lower, probably $3,000 to $4,000 lower than, let's say, a KTM 790. And you wonder, how do they do that? It's things like this brake pedal that are just a stamped steel piece that, they get the job done. 90% of the people would never pick up on this and notice this. But for me, I do, and I'm going to work on fixing it. And other little things, it has Brembo brakes on it, which I think are great, and the brakes are strong and they're really nice. Some people say, it's a price point thing. And I'm like, I don't care if it's price point, it's how it works. And they still work really well. In fact, I'm kind of surprised with the overall power of the brakes. And when I was doing my braking drills, what happened every single time?
You were braking a lot further. Like you were stopping a lot quicker than you were expecting it to.
You almost said that wrong.
I almost had it backwards. You caught me when I was getting some
stuff out of your nose.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So I was stopping a lot sooner than I thought I would. So I'm doing a very deliberate braking, and I had literally 10 to 15 extra feet of braking zone. I mean, I was stopping earlier than I thought. And I'm like, why? And it has to do with, the brakes are really good, but the feel isn't exactly what I'm used to. And so I think they're better than they feel, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So when I do it, the feel that I was getting in my figure didn't correspond with how quickly the bike was stopping, which is really good. And I was stopping sooner than I expected. So good on that. A couple other things on price point stuff, like the wheel spacers, for instance. On the KTMs, they're like encapsulated, they're held in, they don't fall out. On this, when you pull them off, they fall out. And you start looking at some of the little hardware things, little things, and it's like, it's not the same, kind of doesn't feel like the exact same quality. And that's, at this point, that's appearance quality. But we'll see how long things last. And that's why I'm spending time on this bike to learn a little bit more about it. But overall, I'm really stoked on the Tenere. I was from the very first time I rode it. The thing I have to find out is, did they change the ABS from the first ones I rode to this one? Because when I turn my ABS off, which I love, it turns all the way off. No ABS. And I thought the old one, you could only turn off the rear. In other words, what they call off-road ABS.
Yeah.
But now when I turn it off, everything turns off and I can skid my front wheel, which is pretty good.
Which is good for the class.
Oh, Victor. Yeah, of course you vote for the XR, the king of Baja.
Yeah, we're getting more and more votes for that XR.
Okay. The XR's running away in the voting thing?
Yeah.
Well, Riley better send a nice picture in real quick.
It's still nothing from Riley.
Yeah. Yeah. Bruce lived 2 homes from me. His blood was 100% Honda. Yeah, that's right, Gregory. He's talking about Bruce Ogilvy, who I was talking about when we start talking about the XR. So,
okay, so let's go through some of these
Tenere questions.
And then there's another one that was submitted to Instagram I want to get to too.
Okay.
Okay, so Tenere 700 vlog from Gabriel Cope. I went with the Adventure Spec skid plate.
Okay. I've heard good things about those. I'm going to go probably with the Achirby skid plate. And they have a plastic one, and I've always been a big fan of plastic skid plates, and I like Achirby stuff. So I'm going to give that a try and see how that goes.
Will it cover more some of the exposed areas?
I want to cover the water pump.
Yeah.
And specifically the water pump, and then make sure I have enough protection for the exhaust system as well.
Okay. So Casey Carlson, it would be nice if a guy could find a Tenere 700. LOL.
I just walk outside my door and there's one right there. Yeah. It's not that hard. I mean, you can go I know they're hard to get because I got lucky that I was able to get this one. So
right.
Good. There's a reason why they're hard to get. And don't let your Yamaha dealer gouge you on it either, because evidently that's a problem with that one guy. Because they're in demand, you want to make sure they're good.
Okay, so John Jackson, it looks like this bike will have some competition soon. The Honda Translap 750.
Translap, wow.
Transalp.
Yay.
750 is coming back
Cooper.
in 2023. Yeah, Sick Mad equals Cooper.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that, but I think all competition is good competition. So good.
It can only make things better, right?
Yeah.
Mario Leteo. You could raise the front fender. If you could get some mud, it could be useful. Skid plate, I have the AXP Euro 5 and I'm happy with it. It's more quiet than the metal ones when the rocks are projected from the front tires, or even when you hit a rock, it will protect the rear link and the side stand switch. I also have the 140 tire on the rear.
Cool, Mario. I've seen those AXP skid plates, and I was thinking about those also. So I may try a couple different ones. It really depends on how happy. If I'm not happy with a product I put on a bike, I take it off and try something different. Or I test different things just so I'm familiar with them, and it'll be interesting. Blue Sky says, how about an Achirby's large fuel tank for that Tenere? It's on the list. As soon as it shows up in the States, it's coming to my house.
That's actually the question he asked earlier too.
Okay.
Which I'm pretty sure that's Jesse, actually.
Jesse is Blue Sky?
Yeah, Jesse. Yeah. I believe so. He might have identified himself earlier, and it took me till now to kind of connect that message. Anyway,
that's the thing with these handles and stuff. You know, you just change you go do something stupid on the internet.
Riley's gotten his stuff.
Unless you're Victor, you know, who just keeps the same identity and just keeps destroying himself. You just make a new identity. Like next time we'll have. See, I want to say what I want to say, but I would only say it to Victor. I don't want to say it out loud because then I'll be termed as a I don't know, a bad person.
Okay,
but I would call Victor maybe some sort of derogatory slang for an American guy. Anyways,
well, let's. Okay.
Oh wait.
So Riley did get.
He's getting double.
He's getting people in here.
Yeah.
And then here we have some interesting developments here. Riley has emailed me he just emailed me a second picture.
Okay, just hold your horse. You digest your pictures over in the corner there. Let me finish my thought here.
Wait, as long as we're not talking about porn
switching. No, we're not talking about porn. We're talking about the show's not going to go down the toilet, man. We're talking about changing your identity. It's me. So the people you change your identity, you do something stupid, then you just change your identity on the internet and then you're all brand new and then like nobody knows. I don't know. I can't even keep track of your normal identity, let alone the
okay, so I'm gonna download some photos here.
Mike Honcho. So okay.
We're getting Riley and Bruce are now emailing me a lot of pictures.
Okay, so the 2022 CRF250F, it says, great video at 6'2", 210 pounds. I didn't even have to read the next line. I am too big for this bike. Actually, at 210 pounds, no. But I was kind of surprised that bike actually holds. I'm 200 and it holds me up just fine. I just want to trail ride with my son and do some hill climbing. Thanks for the vid. I think you can do that.
For me, it depends on the trails and depends on the hills and what you're looking to do. But I think just if you're looking like just easy, mellow stuff, I think, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to, you're for sure it's going to be a little bit soft, but you can have a lot of fun with that, especially if you're just putting around with the kids. It'd be a great bike for that.
Yeah.
2019 CR450X, Joshua Dickon says, I'm in California and looking into this model. The question is, I can't get a clear answer on, is the 2023 model still a green sticker? As far as I know, Josh, yes, because the bike has the steel tank. It has all of the emissions stuff. That should, it should be a green sticker bike. Honda's very particular about that stuff. So that should be the answer.
One last question that was submitted from Instagram from Redneck Supreme Leader 69. I'm considering installing a bladder kit into my 21 XCW. I'm trying to make the ass end a little more compliant over harsh bumps. Would it need to be revalved due to less friction from the piston?
Well, I like that he said bladder and ass in the same question.
You said no porn.
No, I was just talking about he's being very descriptive of his rear shock. It's the ass end of the bike, and the bladder is a part of the shock. I mean, get your mind out of the gutter. What are you looking at over there?
I'm looking at pictures.
Yeah. Do any of them include a motorcycle?
Actually, all of them include a motorcycle.
Oh, okay. Are they just scraped off the internet?
No.
Okay. So somebody
answer this question, then we'll go into the pictures.
We're not going to put them on the screen if they're anything bad. I don't.
No,
we can talk about it, but
no, we're not putting them on this.
Got it. Somebody didn't just run out in the garage real quick and take a quickie with the bike.
No, I'm impressed with both of our contestants here. For some reason, their names just Bruce and Riley both did a good job.
Okay. I have a solution to this because I do like the participation and I like what's going on here. And I know we can pull this off. I know it's a legit thing.
Yes.
So Redneck Supreme Leader 69. I need to answer this in the Darth Vader voice, don't I?
Hey, we don't have Zoom anymore.
Yeah.
So you can turn it on the voice Matron.
I'm not going to voice Matron it.
Okay.
So the bladder kit does change the way the shock works, but it, in my experience, because I've switched it over a few times, it changes the way the shock works and how progressive it gets more than it doesn't. You don't really have to stiffen it up. I don't think there's the piston friction is a thing. It actually makes it more supple. But not in a I didn't notice any bad changes in going to a bladder, but it seemed like it got more progressive at the end. It seemed like the shock was freer and then kind of stayed freer and then got way more progressive at the end, which is kind of something that I liked. And to be honest with you, most people did not like that if they weren't told what it was. Basically, if you told them, hey, we modified the shock and made it more like a Kayaba, if we told them that and didn't change the shock got better. But if you just said, hey, try these two shocks, most people prefer the non-bladder WP shock over the They just felt like it got it moved a little bit too much and then it was too stiff at the end. So kind of the same things that the shock sort of does standard that everybody complains about, the bladder may actually make that worse if that makes any sense. So hopefully that answers your question. I would more compliant over harsh bumps. So yes, it will do that. It can do that. It will do that for sure. But I don't know if that's the best answer for it. I would say if you're bottoming right now, if you feel like your bike is harsh and then it also bottoms, go with the bladder. That's a good thing. And then maybe you can stiffen everything else up just a little bit to compensate if the bladder, but do it with just the bladder and then see if you can get happy with the clickers. That might work. But if it doesn't bottom right now, and by bottom, I mean, make sure it's bottoming. If it doesn't bottom, don't do it because it won't bottom then. My experience. Yes, Bob, the peanut gallery.
You didn't say your mantra about before you do anything, check the sack.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I just thought that's common sense, but that's very uncommon. Make sure you're checking your sack. Sounds like
with a question like that, I would assume he's
sounds
smart
like he's
enough.
Never assume. It sounds like he's on to something. He's done research and he thinks that's the right direction. And like I said, when I went back and read it and said, okay, that it does do that, but it does it in a different way. So, okay.
So let's get back to the Rooster Endo controversy here.
The bladder was way better back before 2012. Never liked it after that. Okay, good. Jay Moreau says that. That's an interesting thing. I haven't tried it on a newer. I know I've done it on a 2000 and up to 2016, and it's always been the same. And I'm trying to think why. I would say with the direction the WP stuff has been going and the kind of the typical complaints, and we're talking about XCW stuff, I could see where it could actually be worse. So I kind of tend to maybe agree with Jay in that as far as I can tell. But I have not tried one on a newer shock. Wait, the Kref stuff, Kref still has a piston in there. Okay, what are we going to do?
Okay, so Riley submitted 2 pictures via email, and then we'll get back to Brian's. So he did submit a better quality picture there.
Yeah,
much better.
Yeah.
And then per your request, he did include one with presumably his wife on the bike. Let me fix it. It's going to be coming in like that.
Got to rotate it. Yeah. One of these ways, we can figure out how this stuff works.
Well, I know how to do it. It just takes a second. Wait, I'm doing this slow.
This is great radio here.
It's very great. Well, we're not on the radio.
I'd like to thank all of our sponsors. So I can take this moment to tell you about Climb. I didn't wear any Climb gear today. That was disappointing. That means I didn't ride. But I've got some new Climb socks that I'm really liking. Their vented socks have been great up until the other day when the temperature dropped 40 degrees, and now I'm back into the nice wool socks. And let me tell you that if you are looking for a company that knows how to make warm socks, Climb is it. There's the wife. Uh-oh, Matt, we have a problem. She's on the starting blocks and she's got both feet down
on the ground. And she's got boots on, but not the rest of the riding gear.
Unless she's practicing motocross starts, I'm not really happy with both feet on the ground. But that's a discussion for the Better Rider podcast.
Yes, it is.
Which we're going to try to get new episodes up as soon as we can get.
Wait, is that even the same bike?
I don't know.
That looks like the
maybe when
that
it was
looks like a motocross
new.
bike.
It does. It doesn't have the number plate, but he said YZ450. Wait, I'm pulling up the other photo.
That looks like a moto bike.
It's a different. Maybe she's got a moto bike. Yeah. Okay, I'm confused.
Okay, let's go back to Brian's stuff here.
Okay.
Where did his images go? Here we go.
It's crooked. We got Bryant going over a log.
Oh.
He's smashing it.
All the transformers that I need to make here. Oh my God. It's going opposite from.
You thought you were so antsy to get these photos up.
Yeah, there we go. And then Brian, but it's blurry.
That's okay. It's a bad photo. It's blurry. Well,
here's it was a motocross bike. He confirmed that.
Okay. He was figuring out how. Oh, okay. Well, that's actually a pretty good way to do it. I mean, don't lower your motorcycle, Riley. Just resist the urge. He probably already did it.
Probably.
I could have saved him thousands.
And headaches.
And headache. We have the the technology to teach you how to enjoy your normal seat height bike. You just park it on a log like Brian here, and then the seat height, you put your feet down where feet down is good, and that's good. I'm surprised that log didn't break. The tree that's laying down was the one he crashed into on the way getting to that log and knocked it over. And so here's what we're going to do. Since we did not give away a Taco Moto gift certificate on the Jerry Bernardo show, episode 159, possibly the best episode ever of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. Tonight, we're going to give both of these guys a certificate. I really enjoy the participation, guys. As always, that you are half of this show. Victor's like at least 1/3 of the show, but I gotta go pick up some cabinets from that guy. He's got he found some junk for me to go pick up. So, but good times, everybody. Thanks for joining in and supporting the show. So you guys got it, Riley and
Brian. Just I'll get you guys. I'll email you both what to do.
Yeah. So we'll get you guys hooked up, and again, like to thank all of our sponsors. Support us by clicking through our links. We have been seeing some increased activity on the Rocky Mountain one for sure, and we really appreciate that. Seat Concepts makes Husaberg seats, in case you're wondering, as well as Tenere seats, which they'll sell a lot more of, is the Tenere seats. Go check those out. And I think we're going to be back next week. It might be a remote show, but we'll
if it's a remote show, I might try a different setup. I'll talk to you about it.
Okay. We're going to try to make the show even worse.
Even better.
Matt's trying to say. So with that, everybody, we will see you out in the trail. So cheers.